Hello, I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Brianna Jones.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew to like musical theater. And he's back, guys. We're so happy, but we have no time to handle that because today's our super special Thanksgiving episode. And you know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for our very special returning guest.
Hi, everyone.
It's Ethan from Sideways.
Hi.
Oh, yes. This is a good returning episode.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one. I could feel it.
It's a good one to come back on.
It is. And it's our Thanksgiving episode. Do you know how this ties into Thanksgiving? Colonialism.
Yeah, themes of colonialism. Yeah.
All right, Andrew, what are we talking about today?
Well, I mean, Tarzan.
Cue the music, Bree.
For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore.
So Tarzan is a stage musical with music by Phil Collins and lyrics by Phil Collins, and a book by David Henry Hwang, who also did the book for Aida. It is based on the Tarzan animated film from Disney Animation Studios in 1999. It began previews on Broadway March 24th, 2006, and officially opened at the Richard Rodgers Theater on May 10th, 2006. The plot of the musical is: washed up on the shores of West Africa, an infant boy is taken and raised by gorillas who name him Tarzan. Apart from striving for acceptance from his ape father, Tarzan's life is mostly monkey business until a human expedition treks into his tribe territory, and he encounters creatures like himself for the first time. Tarzan struggles to navigate a jungle thick with emotion as he discovers his animal upbringing clashing with his human instincts. Wow, they wrote a full novel there. They might as well have read the book, shouldn't I?
They really went for it, yeah.
That's what they put in their playbill. All of those are right from the playbill every time I do that.
They really put all of that in the playbill?
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't trust people to understand this one.
They didn't trust these strangers like me. But Ethan,
Yes.
I think you have the most tumultuous history with Tarzan, dare I say.
Oh, I do.
Well, I've seen this video.
Should I go? Okay, so I have a video on my channel where, I'm really, really obsessed with the Disney Renaissance and like Howard Ashman and all that kind of stuff. All those wonderful movies. I was raised with them. I love them. I love like breaking them down and trying to talk about them from new angles and just looking at like what makes them tick, how they work and all that. And Tarzan is widely considered to be the last film in the Disney Renaissance. After that, it was like Lilo and Stitch and Emperor's New Groove, and they sort of, and like Brother Bear, which like 7 people saw. And
Phil Collins did the music to that too.
Yeah. But Tarzan's really considered to be like the last Disney Renaissance film. And so that makes it like, it's interesting to look at it in terms of like a transitional film, like what it was doing. And one of the things that like in trying to look at the film and see what it was doing that really bothered me was that like none of the characters really sing. And so I made a film being like, I made a video, saying like, I really like the film. I really like the music. I really like the animation. I like the story. Like, I love everything about this film. There's this one minor thing that it does though, and it feels like it kind of messes it up. And the whole internet was just like, how could you say that about Phil Collins? You are going to hell. It was just, oh my God, it was just pitchforks everywhere. It was like, I really do mean, like the last 5 minutes of that video is literally me just like staring at my computer screen at 4 o'clock in the morning going, I like this movie. I like the music. I think it's good. There's just one little thing that I think is kind of off with it. And so yeah, well, this is really interesting looking at it in like genuine musical theater form.
They fixed it.
I mean, yeah, Ethan, as far as we're concerned, Disney heard your complaints 5 years before you made the complaints and fixed it.
They fixed it. They put it on on stage.
It's interesting. It's really genuinely interesting to see it kind of like play out like this. I think there are times where it works, and then there are other times where the rest of the musical happens, and that's fine.
This musical screams of mid-Eisner era Broadway Disney, meaning he was not willing to put any money and effort into it.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of feel like this could have been really good if they had just allowed it to have a budget.
I don't think so. I feel like the Tarzan story just doesn't work if you do the Disney one on stage. Because there's, like, as I'm watching it, there's a lot of things that work very well if it's animated and it feels very energetic. Then as soon as you do it with real human beings acting it out, it feels creepy. Like Tarzan grabbing Jane the way he does. Like in animation, it's funny and cute and stuff, but in real life, it's like, oh no.
Well, like,
What if the oh no is a good feeling though, Jess? What if
What?
what if the what if for awkward?
yeah, what if the awkwardness is kind of selling me on it, okay?
What? Are you like a Succession fan where it's like, man, seeing bad people do bad things makes me feel good?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like Tarzan is just acting like a weirdo on stage, and I'm kind of here for it, you know?
Well, like when I was like walking into this, I was like, there's like all of this 3D CGI mapped onto like 2D CGI, and there's like surfing down the vines, and I thought it was really cool. And I was like, how the hell are you going to even remotely try to translate that on the stage? Because you can't.
They
just
don't even try.
It just doesn't happen. Tarzan's just like a dude who like rolls around a little bit.
I heard they tried to do it, but the actors got too many splinters.
No, I was thinking like what are you gonna like dress up a skateboard?
I made that joke earlier. But...
I was like, are you gonna like dress up a skateboard? You're gonna drag somebody across the stage? Like, how is this gonna work? And it just doesn't happen like at all.
My favorite part is Tarzan is always attached to the rig. No matter what, he is always attached to the vine swinging rig, having a conversation. It is distracting.
Think it's wonderfully awkward. You have this actor on stage who cycles between acting like a normal person who sings and acting like an ape man, like who just doesn't understand how anything works.
It's so weird.
And it's so weird because it just, depending on the scene, is how they act. Like it's just back and forth, and he's always rigged up to something, and it's so awkward. And there's no set; it's just green. There's just green.
They're relying a lot on lighting to try to do it, and the lighting is very cool. I will say it is very impressive.
There are shockingly few props. Like
there's like nothing.
There's so often you're just like literally looking at an empty stage that's lit really well.
Yeah, and I think it's really awkward, and it's kind of nice in its own way. I kind of appreciate it.
You appreciated like the weird kind of like minimalist style that looks like a school play.
It's like what are they doing? How is this on stage? How is this a Disney product?
They were thinking they were Julie Taymor. They really thought they had another Lion King on their hands where they were just being brave and theatrical.
And you want to talk about brave choices that they should have made and they didn't?
Yeah.
Clayton still doesn't have a song.
That was
true.
A brave choice.
That's very true.
Do you think Phil Collins just wasn't up for it?
Phil Collins, he's too nice of a guy. He can't write a mean song.
I want to know how to shoot these strangers. But like,
that would be really interesting to try and work out. Like, how would a villain song from him sound like?
Yeah.
They can't do it. He can't write a mean sounding song.
Maybe.
Have you ever heard a Phil Collins song that sounds like mean in any way?
I'm trying to think of one and I can't.
I remember what's that one that everyone plays the drum part to? That sounds a little scary.
In the air tonight?
Yeah, in the air tonight. That could be a little spooky. Like I could see a villain song. That sounds a little bit like "Be Prepared" from Lion King. If you think really hard about it.
I disagree. I don't think that's a scary sounding song.
I don't know if it's menacing enough.
No,
it's really not.
But that's the closest he's gotten.
That's about as close.
Everything else is like pop hits and like they're really upbeat, and he just didn't have it in him. And they added more songs for this, and they still were just like, Clayton doesn't get to sing.
That was such a weird choice. I'm like confused as to why they chose to put the new songs in where they did and who they gave them to.
Yeah, I'm also confused as to why Clayton was a Southern American when everyone else was British.
Because it was entertaining to watch. That was the one good change.
I will say, Clayton is probably my favorite character in this version, where he was like really a nothing in the stage show. He's like a creepy like sex pervert in this one.
Yeah, and like
I love Clayton in this, and I was telling Jess about how great Clayton is. And he asked me why, and I said, well, he has a Southern accent now. And that was it. That's the only thing they did.
It's his only personality trait.
Well, no, he goes through like Jane's underwear and stuff, and is like really manipulative in a way that he wasn't.
Tarzan probably did that too, but
I love how they like avoided the entire final conflict with Clayton, where it's just like his own men apprehend him, and then that's kind of like it.
They couldn't figure out a way to hang him on stage.
That'd take too much work. We'd have to build a prop. Just say, no, we're better than him, and then leave.
We're better than him. He's gone.
We're gonna have a strong discussion about this.
He shot a gorilla. You're going to prison.
Yeah, you're going to gorilla jail now, bud.
You're going to gorilla jail.
Oh, that would have been great. They just put him in gorilla jail, and they're like, the gorillas will take care of him.
Gorilla justice.
Yeah, they would have had to make a prop for gorilla jail, though, so...
Yes. So Clayton was the good change. What do you guys think about the removal? This is Tantor erasure. There's no elephants.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I got to like the fourth number where I was like, what's wrong? What's missing here? And I was like, where the fuck is my elephant? Like, it's gone. Like, is this water sanitary? It looks questionable to me. Was like my slogan in life for a good 10 years, way longer than it should have been. Okay. Where is he and why didn't it happen?
I think it was a good change because honestly, I'm a Turk stan.
It's gonna be like that, huh? It's gonna be like that.
You get rid of what's his name? The elephant one.
Tantor.
Tantor.
Say the name.
Don't
you get rid of Tantor, and then it's all Turk all the time. And I'm totally into it.
What do you? They changed Turk's gender. Once again, a strong female character is replaced by a man.
See, I forgot what gender Turk was, so I'm fine with it.
It was Rosie O'Donnell in the movie.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. You're right about that.
It was a weird choice, and it was a choice, and then they made him like super poetic in this. They made everyone really poetic. It feels like that's just kind of this writer's thing, where he's like, everyone's gonna say a lot of poetry.
I was really confused in the one scene because they're talking about like pendulation.
Yes,
I'm like, bro, this is for kids. What are you? Just call it swinging.
This one's not. It's not for kids.
It's weirdly adult.
Yeah,
this is the adult Tarzan.
Yeah,
I kind of enjoyed it. Tarzan is a weirdo like sex man. Like. Clayton is going through Jane's underwear. Like, Jane is like really into Tarzan, and like the professor is there for it.
Yeah,
the professor is like, I would watch that.
He's just enabling the whole shit.
My daughter wants to marry a literal feral man. Doing the family proud, I see.
Super weird.
It's in like everyone is speaking in like poetry, and there's nothing on stage.
No one cracks a joke. There's not a single peep from the audience.
That was the thing about like no Tantor, because I thought Tantor was funny as hell, and you cut the funny character and you add no jokes, and like one of the things that happens in this show, and I don't know if it was like the recording that we watched or if it's just like how it is. There's a baby crying in the opening.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was in the audience.
I was there for minutes just like, okay, does somebody need to calm down their kid, or is this like a part of the show? But after that, the audience was just silent. Just dead silent for the longest fucking time.
I think it was baby Tarzan.
Yeah, that's what I figured too, but it was like, is there a baby crying?
There was someone at the beginning of the recording that we watched, though, when it was still dark, and it wasn't baby Tarzan, it was like a little kid said, I'm scared.
It could have been a grown woman, it could have been a small child. Either way, someone was scared.
It's like, wow, they're really committed to the bit.
Honestly, this is a great adaptation. I really love what they did with it. They made some real changes, and I liked it.
Are you shitting me? Are you giving legit feelings here, or
I don't even know.
Wow.
It's such a bizarre. It was such a bizarre experience to watch.
It's so like, I don't want to be like just like mean for the sake of being mean, but it's just so empty. Like, there's so much of nothing that happens that it's really difficult to like get invested into it. Even when you're watching it, you're like, all right, I'm really into this. I want to know what happens, There's
only been one show that I saw with more nothing, and it was all of us were here for it, and it was Prince of Egypt, the stage show.
I don't want to say it.
It's kind of similar vibes.
It's a similar vibe, similar kind of set, but yeah.
They could have probably gone with some projection in the back of this one.
Nah, Michael Eisner wasn't willing to write that check.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. He literally was like, here, you can have the rights, but the budget is $0.
Mm-hmm.
Make me another Lion King.
Whatever you have laying around.
There was
they had a wicker basket, and that was their only prop.
Well, there's that one part, like, not just when like Jane gets introduced, but there's another part where Tarzan's fighting the jaguar, leopard, the cat thing, and there's all these like cool animal costumes. There's like a big butterfly, and it's like there's like aerialists and stuff, and it looks really cool. But and it's like probably one of those visual like elements of the show that I thought was like really, really interesting. But the entire time I'm watching it, it's just like, it feels like these are all the spare costumes from the Lion King set.
They borrowed them.
Yeah.
for the evening.
It's just like, it's very Lion King. That's not bad, but you're just using it at this one part and then you're kind of moving on. It felt really weird.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at where this fits in the Disney theatrical bubble. Okay, so this is actually a pretty interesting thing now that I'm actually looking at the list. So this was the first sole adaptation of a Disney animated film on stage to come to Broadway since The Lion King. This was there was the Hunchback of Notre Dame, which was in Berlin. That don't count because that was never made to America. And then there was the Mary Poppins, and then there was Mary Poppins, but that was a Cameron McIntosh production that Disney let them use the songs for, so that doesn't count either. So this is their follow-up to The Lion King, if you think really hard about it.
That's so tough,
and it doesn't work. It's bad.
No, I just every single number that like you go through, I just have more questions. Like every single time something else happens, I'm like, why are we doing it like this? Why is it happening like this? And like the entire time I'm watching this, I'm having that moment in the back of my head where like, okay, what if you're the stupid one? What if everyone likes this and you're the idiot and you can't figure out what makes this work? And I couldn't figure it out.
I mean, there's no winning here. I think it's bad, but there's a couple things I liked. Is there anything that you guys liked?
I really liked specifically You'll Be in My Heart. I was going to
say the same thing.
I liked that Kala was singing, and then at the very end of the show when Kala and Tarzan have the duet, that was those two moments where I was like, it's really cool. That's fucking exactly what I was saying in my fucking video.
Yeah, proved your point.
It proved my point.
Well, it's good, but I feel like this also disproves your point. I gotta throw it out there. Once Jane comes in and Tarzan is wildly flip-flopping between flawlessly singing and unable to talk, it is like,
but it works so well in Hunchback.
Hold on to that, because I have a counter argument, good sir. Do you want to get to it now, or do you want to go through the numbers?
No, throw it right now.
So here's the thing. There's this really interesting like issue with everything about making Tarzan just feels like you're working uphill both ways, right?
Yeah.
Not just in making a film, but in also making a stage musical. One of the things that the powers that be, the creators, said when they didn't want Tarzan to sing was it makes sense, right? Tarzan's he's feral, he's kind of nonverbal. Having him just like break out into song and then swing in a vine would kind of have like a weird vibe. He's not a cartoon teacup, right? Where like there's like a weird suspension of disbelief thing happening. Yeah. But in that way, this show is kind of bilingual, right? On one half, he's talking to the apes and he's fully articulate. He like totally speaks English. And then on the other hand, he's talking to Jan and he's like, ugh, me Tarzan, right? Like he really doesn't have any kind of grammar or capabilities. And then he becomes like a feral human instead of like, I don't know, like a gorilla who can communicate. One of the problems that I really have with this show is that throughout Act 1, Tarzan doesn't really have any numbers, right? And that's something that carries over from the film. He's got I Need to Know when he's a kid, which is like kind of his I Want song, but it's not really clear what it is he's looking for. And then the other one is a song that he sings with Turk, with Who Better Than Me, and it comes back throughout the show where it's like a relationship between him and Turk, but you don't really get Tarzan singing like proper, I'm going to be on stage, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing. And because of that, we don't really get a great sense of who he is. Like, what is Tarzan? Is he fun? Is he playful? Is he serious? Is he joking? Is he like desperate to be accepted into some kind of group? What's going on? So by the time it gets to Jane and he's struggling to communicate, there's this really awkward situation where if we had been listening to Tarzan sing the entire time, if they'd been spending all that time developing a really strong character for Kid Tarzan, you would know that there's this wonderful character who's struggling to express himself, but instead you get a white guy in dreadlocks on stage just rolling around like a gorilla, and it's really, really awkward. Like, does this guy, like, is he like trying to communicate something sincere, or is he like an idiot and he can't quite piece it together?
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, it's like if we actually gave him numbers and we had him sing and we got to learn his character, by the time you get to Jane, you would sense his frustration in not being able to communicate who he is and what he wants and what he likes and all that. But instead, it just comes off as like really, really silly.
Imagine. Okay. Sorry, Andrew.
There's actually it's a different failure from Phil Collins in that he didn't write any songs for Tarzan before Jane
nothing
shows up.
happens.
I agree, but in that moment when I was watching them try to communicate that scene, it's very popular in the movie. Like the hand thing has been parodied in like many different other things. That feels like a song moment, and they didn't even do it when they had the opportunity to turn it into a song. Like, imagine if their attempts at communications were musicalized. It feels like that would be like the perfect thing. Like we were talking about Bat Boy a few weeks ago. That was a perfect way to show a character learn to communicate slowly and how they did it.
Sure, yeah.
And that felt like that was a perfect way to use music and musical numbers to communicate story in a way that wouldn't come across as ridiculous, but they decided not to do that and to make it come across as ridiculous and slightly rapey.
Yeah.
They thought that moment would be better served if it was extremely awkward for everyone involved.
It was. And
Yes.
okay, like the I don't know if you guys have like the same problem here, but like the act break is super weird. Like Jane walks on stage at the end of Act 1 and it straight up feels like she's coming out of a different musical. Like
Yes.
she's walking in off stage and she's like, "This is everything I've ever wanted. Oh my god, this is fucking sick. Look at all these plants and shit. Oh my god, my life is complete. All the struggles I've ever had that none of you get to watch have totally been resolved. I'm content. I'm gonna die here writing down all of these life forms," right? And it's like, great, but that sounds like a way more interesting story than what we've been dealing with. And then Act 1 ends.
It's a bad ad break.
Doesn't she die to a spider or something? I feel like she dies to a
She
giant
gets trapped
spider
by a
at some
giant
point.
spider.
Oh, you said dies too.
It's like one of the few... Oh, I mean, she probably should have, but I think Tarzan saves her.
I was like, man, did I miss the ending? I didn't think she died to anything.
There was a big
Yeah, there's a
spider
huge web,
projection or
doesn't Tarzan
prop or
scream?
something. Yeah, it was like one of the only things that they
Yeah, they had
put
that set
money into,
piece.
I think.
There's a big ass butterfly too. I remember that.
Imagine if they had taken
Yeah.
all those pieces and just kind of made a stage that's nice to look at. And then we cut out those things, and then we could have a nice one-act musical.
Okay, so like the one thing I really struggled with when like I revisited this because I watched it like 1.5 times is like in the opening, like the opening number when they're establishing everything. It's like I've seen the trailer. I know there's gonna be a bunch of people doing like the zip line work and all that, hooked up into the rig, going up and down. It's like, fine, I know that that's the expectation. And I was like, what are you gonna do with it? And in the opening of the number, they project a map on the back of the stage. And the two parents are walking down the stage like they're walking across a map or like a sandy beach or something. And I was like, oh shit, that's really cool. And it's the coolest thing that they do the entire show. And the rest of it is just a bunch of aerialists going up and down.
Yeah, it's bad. It's very, very unengaging. Everything about this is unengaging. But there's moments where it's like, oh, a life, I feel something. No,
Absolutely.
no.
Like you could totally see the glimmers of just like a really cool show. And it's okay. Like here's something I don't get. Why does Kerchak get so much screen time in Act 1 and then he just kind of like vanishes in Act 2 and then dies?
I mean, that's basically how it is in the movie because it's a 3-act structure where you can have him there for the first 2 acts and can kind of let him be away until he dies at the end of the 3rd act. Here, 2 acts, put most of that in Act 1, and then we got to set up these people mostly.
Yeah, because there's a point in the show, like midway through Act 1, where I'm sitting there, it's like, I've heard Kerchak sing more than Tarzan, and that's it. The show's not called Kerchak.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah, but Kerchak, he comes
To
back
die,
for one scene
and then
at the
immediately
end. I mean,
dies.
that's enough, right? Yeah, it's all
It's
good.
setup and payoff. That's the payoff. He
You know.
dies.
It's not even a resolution to his story, is this thing. He's nothing.
It's well, okay, so that was something else
Yeah.
that like I was super fucking confused about. I don't mean to just sit here and complain, but
No, that's what we're here for. That's
So-
our show, basically.
no, there's like a point. There's a point where like because they don't do okay, I don't know if like I misheard the song or something, but in I Need to Know, the Young Tarzan song, right? He's like, oh, I need to know if there are other people like me. But there's also because it's not I want to know, it's I need to know. Yeah,
Can you show?
Can you
it's
show
I need
me?
to know. It's very different. And it's like is he looking for acceptance within the gorilla unit or is he looking for other humans? And I don't feel like they do a great job at really isolating what he's looking at. I could be wrong there, but once he kills the big cat, I can't remember what kind of big cat it is, the spotted
Cheetah.
one. Cheetah, there you go. Once he kills the big cat, Kerchak is like, okay, he's cool, he can live with us. And Jane is now in an environment where she gets to do all of the sciencey stuff that she ever wanted. Tarzan's now accepted by the gorillas. Kala's not excommunicated or anything like that. that anymore. And everything's just kind of fine. Like there's nothing driving any, like you have to stop there and then start a new story because everything's just kind of like done.
Which, in theory, if they had made the act break there and start Act 2 with Jane coming in, that could work. Those are two separate stories where you have a resolution to one in Act 1, and then you have a new one that's throwing a wrench into what we resolved in Act 1. Mm-hmm. That could work in theory. That could be a different story, and if you embrace that into the Woods style or falsetto style, there's an argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did not.
They did not do that at all.
No, they just have Jane just shows up.
I don't know.
Right
I'm thinking aloud right now. What if they had just taken Strangers Like Me and then recontextualized it to be about the gorillas in Act 1 and make that Tarzan's I Want song? Like about him feeling like a stranger in his own place, just to the tune of Strangers Like Me. And that turns into his I Want song for Act 1, and then we can recontextualize and make it his I Want song for Act 2 in that way.
Oh yeah, that would have been fucking great. That would have been like absolutely like...
They would have had to...
Phil Collins would have to show up to work occasionally to do that.
No, that would have been fucking awesome. That would have been absolutely like fantastic.
But we'll pause and talk about that later. But I think we should really compare our opinions to those of the New York Theater Critic, as well as to the weirdo freak perverts on Letterboxd. It's time for everyone's favorite section. It's time for previews!
It's time for previews. It's time for previews.
All right, Bree, what did Ben Brantley have to say about this show, though?
I feel like Ben Brantley had to say exactly what you all had to say.
Oh, we actually have to agree with Ben Brantley for once? Gross.
I think so. Okay, all right, so this was from, May of 2006. This is Ben Brantley. He said, the tree-surfing title character is not the only creature sailing through the air in Tarzan. The giant, writhing green blob with music that opened last night at the Richard Rodgers Theater.
Not wrong.
Apes, flowers, moths, a snake, a leopard, a hunt-sized spider, 2 shipwrecked Victorians, an English botanist in her underwear. No sooner do such figures make their entrances in the restless adaptation of the 1999 Disney animated film than they find themselves pulled into some kind of airborne aerobics. Almost everybody and everything swings in Tarzan, which is odd since the show itself, to borrow from Duke Ellington's famous credo, definitely ain't got that swing.
Man, he's like the cringiest at this.
Yeah, he's really bad at this.
Ben Brantley, you knew that there was going to be a Phil Collins soundtrack. Like,
he didn't expect high quality here.
No moment seems to carry more dramatic weight than any other. All instances of swinging, and they are countless, have been created equal. And Mr. Collins' soda pop songs, expanded from those he wrote for the film, surf and evaporate more or less at random like bubbles on a pond. The whole experience starts to feel like a super deluxe daycare center equipped with lots of bungee cords and karaoke synthesizers, where kids can swing when they get tired of singing and vice versa. But only Natasha Katz's lighting, especially the impressionist dots that suggest flocks of butterflies, summons a magical spirit. Otherwise, all of those layers and layers of green, walls of shredded cloth, and scrims in the floor coverings start to induce claustrophobia after a while. No wonder the cast members spend so much time in the air. Even with a personal spotlight, no one has much of a chance of standing out in this oppressive jungle.
Hot damn! I mean, I don't disagree.
It was mean, but it was
And I do want to point out the only Tony Award nomination this got was for the lighting. And I agree, the lighting is very good.
The lighting is very, very good, yeah. I want to know what happened. This feels like one of those shows where you go and you watch it, and you're like, you want to start pointing fingers around and be like, okay, who fucked up? You know, but this feels like something big happened, and it's a bunch of people who know what they're doing, who are desperately trying to piece this together and have it be a show. You know what I mean?
I agree. This director has done good things. He's done bad things just as often. He won a Tony for the design and direction of Once. He also was nominated for Olivier's for the original version of Love Never Dies. Take that for what it's worth. It was bad. So it's give and take. The gentleman that wrote this also did Flower Drum Song and Aida. Both have good books. So I don't know where to feel about this. Phil Collins, he did Brother Bear, which, you know, everyone's favorite.
I think that they messed up because the movie isn't a musical, and then they just took the songs, which aren't set up for a musical, and they did that. And then they didn't give it any budget, so
I
it's
really
impressive,
think
like
the
The Lion
budget's a
King,
huge thing.
But it had the freedom to do whatever it wanted, which is not the case for a lot of Disney musicals.
Right,
where-
but like if it had all that freedom, it didn't elect to use it, I guess.
No.
You know, like, because this is like musical theater and it's not the film, and the film is really, honestly, the film is really constrained by the fact that it is a film, by the fact that you can have Phil Collins' disembodied voice just be like the god narrator, right? And the fact that you can have a CGI dude like interlock his toes with a character and swing on a vine while like a swarm of monkeys chase them. Like, it's wild, it's out there, and you got to suspend your disbelief, but it works in that like animated environment. And when it comes to musical theater, you're gonna have to lean on different techniques and do something very different. I mean, I understand the freedom, but they really needed to go like in a totally like go in one direction and go really, really far.
What if they did interpretive dance and they had a disembodied voice? Like
I want to know, can you show me? I want to know about these strangers.
And everyone on like no one is on stage singing. Everyone is just dancing. It's
fuck it,
an
just do
interpretive
Tarzan the
dance
opera.
show.
Yes.
Go for it. Just go hard. Super postmodernist. Yeah.
You know what? I think we should go into the insane bowels of Letterboxd in the game show we have at Musicals with Cheese, which is 1 star, 5 star. When Bree and I are going to go take turns and ask you, read a review to you from Letterboxd, an actual review. We did not make any of these up. And you have to tell us whether it was a 1 star review or a 5 star review. Bree, whose team do you want to be on? Andrew's or Ethan's?
Ooh, why would you put me in this position?
No one's gonna judge you. Everyone's gonna judge you.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew has really good
You have to make the right
experience
choice
with
here.
this. I'm gonna go with Andrew.
That's
He
a good
wins.
point.
I say like this. I'm not gonna forget this.
I've won every single time so far.
All right, but I get to go first, all right?
Oh, okay. So it's a 1 star or a 5 star review.
It is either a 1 star or 5 star. No in between. There's no like 3.5. These are binaries.
All right,
so,
let's go.
This is the first one. Ethan, are you ready?
I am.
All right. The review says, Tarzan slapped gorilla cheeks before he met Jane. Changed my mind.
5 stars.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, Bree.
Okay, Andrew. I feel like Jane felt like Tarzan was hung.
True. I mean, yes. 5 stars. 5 stars.
Ooh.
1 star.
Oh, how is that a 1 star?
All right.
I agree.
All right. Are you ready, Ethan?
I am.
This one's actually very important. I need to find it. Hold on. I know which one I want.
It's gonna be a trick one. I can feel it.
No. Okay, you ready?
I am.
Even though a YouTube explained why the movie flops because of the music, I
Fuck
really
off.
liked it.
No. 5?
That is a 5
I
stars.
fucking knew it.
I saw that and I was like,
they
holy
got
shit,
you.
this is made for us.
Biggest regret of my life.
Damn. I wonder what the A YouTube was.
How is Tarzan white with dreadlocks? Microphone emoji.
I mean, that sounds like a call out. I want to say 1 star, but I'm going to go with 1 star. 1 star there.
You are correct.
Why doesn't he have a beard?
That is another good question.
I feel like if you lived in the jungle, you probably would have
And a beard.
dreadlocks, no matter what race you are. but you
Yeah.
would have a beard, too. That
He
is the
shaves.
weird part.
All right, are you ready for this one, Ethan?
I am.
I used to take a bite of broccoli and pretend it's Tarzan's treehouse. That's the review.
That's 5.
That's the
That is correct.
Yeah, that's someone who likes broccoli.
All right, Bree, bring it.
Single-handedly the most ambitious, quote, I can fix him, unquote, ever.
Have they seen Rebecca? Let's see. Yeah. Jeez, did they like
It was
it?
ambitious.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 5 stars for that one.
You are correct.
Are we tied?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're officially
crap.
tied.
You are
But
tied.
Ethan, it's your turn. You got this.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go. Let's go.
I feel like we'll agree with this one. Be ready, this one's long. Elephants are enigmas in this movie. Why did Tantor the elephant leave his family and way of life to travel with the gorillas and live with the gorilla clan? He's traumatized by teenage Tarzan, now decides that they're besties? Also, how does this elephant know about piranhas? How do elephants know about South America? Why do they call it South America? How do they know about America? They're in Africa and never left the jungle, yet they know about piranhas in South America? Furthermore, How do they not know what humans are, but they know what piranhas in South America are? Tarzan is not even the first human in this jungle, yet the elephants are confused and terrified of him. I don't get the elephants in this movie.
Okay.
They looked it up on Wikipedia, dude.
Oh. Shit. I'm like, that's a fan. That's somebody who took their time to write it out. 1.
That is correct.
Yes!
Andrew, we got someone coming for your title.
That was a tough one.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one. I'll give it to him.
All right, Bree, what we got?
Look me in the eye and tell me you don't imagine Tarzan as Harry Styles with long hair.
Oh my god.
5 stars.
I didn't realize this film was such an awakening to so many people.
All right, Ethan, you got this. You got this.
Crap. All right.
When Glenn Close wins the Oscar, I'll imagine a gorilla giving the speech.
5 stars.
1 star.
Fuck.
Ooh. He expected to win an Oscar, but then they also gave it 1 star.
She didn't even win the Oscar. All right, Bree.
Jane is horny like an anime chick.
God damn it. I feel like I already said 5 stars for this exact one. And I was wrong. So did I go the other way? No, 5 stars. It's 5 stars.
No, it's 1 star.
You gotta be
my
kidding
God.
me. How is that a 1 star?
What if they don't like anime?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
They don't like anime
That's the
chicks,
plot
apparently.
twist.
All right, Ethan, you ready?
All right, let's go.
That dad was hot. Rip.
5 stars. Absolutely.
1 star.
Oh, fuck.
Oh! Dude, all the people that think that Tarzan is hot, they hate this movie.
There's a lot of
All right,
self-loathing.
Bree.
Soundtrack went stupid.
Ooh, I saw this on a YouTube once. 1 star. 1 star.
5 stars.
That's 5 stars. Okay.
Yep.
The soundtrack
Yeah,
is...
when something went stupid, it's good.
What is this, like Michael Jackson bad? Like,
Yeah.
what is this, the 80s?
All right, Ethan.
Uh-huh.
Full review. His feet must be so gross.
True.
I'm just sitting here like, what if it's somebody who's into feet?
There is a lot of shots of feet in that
If it's
movie.
somebody who's into feet, this is a 5. What was it again?
His feet must be so gross.
Look at the spelling bee asking for them to repeat it. 5.
1.
His feet are literally mostly splinter wood that are just stuck in there.
They're just calluses. They're basically shoes.
Oh god, I don't want that image to
You know what? You has a point. Yeah.
Oh, ew.
And that doesn't. That means that's still correct. All right, Brie, what you got? We got a couple left.
When I was 15, my friends used to make fun of me for having a haircut like the Gorilla Girl.
Which Gorilla Girl?
Turk, I'm imagining.
Just like the little
The
thing.
little cowlick.
Yeah. Oh god. 5?
No?
I don't know. 5 stars.
You
I
guys
thought.
were on a
We were
roll.
on it, and then
What
we just
happened?
totally fell off.
All
All right,
these
Ethan,
people,
Ethan,
all these
you're
people
gonna-
sound like they love the movie.
Yeah, and then they hate it. It's like, what is this? Is it
Ethan, you're gonna get this one. You're
multiple
gonna get
levels
this
of
one.
irony that I just can't decode.
Yeah, we're like 8 levels of irony down.
You're gonna get this one, I believe it.
Fuck! Don't jinx me like that.
All right, this is the entire review says Phil colonialism, Phil colonialism, but it's spelled colon.
True. We didn't discuss the themes there, but
We didn't.
5.
I did not get that as a
careful.
one.
Fuck.
Careful. Twitter's gonna hear this one. You give colonialism 5 stars?
I'm trying to get into the mind of somebody who types that out on a keyboard and hits send.
Phil colonialism.
That's somebody who worked it out, okay? They Googled it. They copied and pasted it into Google to see if anybody else had made that joke before.
Three. We got three left. I think. Yeah, each one gets one, and then a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Okay, Andrew, this you got this, okay?
I don't know. These have been weird.
They're all weird. It's Letterboxd.
They've been out there, yeah.
Yeah.
Women colonizers greater than men colonizers.
And there's 3 greater than signs.
3 greater than signs, yeah.
I mean, I get what they're saying. Jane is definitely better than the professor and Clayton. And Tarzan, for that matter.
And Tarzan's parents.
Tarzan's parents as well. Jeez, everybody who likes Jane has hated this movie, though. No, go with my gut. 5 stars.
Yep.
All right, Ethan, you got to tie this up. You can't embarrass me.
Send me in, coach.
All right. So here's the review, the full review. I believe in you. Look me in the eyes. We got this.
Okay.
We got this.
Yeah.
All right. Tarzan is only hot because you can't smell him.
True.
The gerbil in my head is not moving.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna try to. Tarzan's only hot because you can't smell him.
1.
That is correct.
Fuck yeah.
Tied up. We got one tiebreaker.
Right.
Bree, how do you want to do this
He's got
tiebreaker?
that jungle musk, though, and that's what Jane's like.
Like,
Yes, we.
his entire
Okay,
body
so-
smells like a dick.
Literally true, yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so technically this should be Andrew's question.
Well, since we're tied up, I was thinking we should. Since
but you went first.
I figure we could have a tiebreaker. Come on.
No, okay, this can be a tiebreaker, but technically it's Andrew's.
Andrew's a returning champ, so that he doesn't get that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So how do you want to do this?
I think maybe whoever throws out an answer first.
Oh, you're gonna be on the buzzer?
This is gonna be an absolute mess, but okay.
50-50, huh?
Okay. Yep.
All right.
50-50 shot, guys. All right. Bree, I'll read this.
Okay, it's all you.
All right, here's the full review, and whoever screams out the right answer gets it. All right?
Yeah.
Ready? Mm-hmm. Turk do be making some jams.
5 stars.
Ethan?
I said 5.
We both said 5, I think.
That is, y'all broke it. It's a tie. That was a 1 star.
Hi.
That was a 1 star. They're like, man, these Turk jams are fucking lame, bro.
Wow. For the first time ever on Letterboxd reviews, we have a tie.
Excellent.
2
Congrats.
losers.
Both people are in last place.
I guess you guys are just too evenly matched and too good at this game, so I congratulate you both.
We both
Thank you
get
very
the
much
plastic
for
medal.
Sure.
you both get to look and smell like Tarzan.
Yay.
You get to smell Tarzan's feet.
Just like Harry Styles.
Just like Harry Styles, but
Those were some
sweatier.
horny comments.
I mean, that movie is kind of horny. It's the stage show, too.
It's a lot of nudity, yeah.
It translates very well onto the stage. It's even hornier.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a half-naked man and a girl that's like, ooh! Yeah, the
And
horniness.
a professor father who's like, ooh, this is a great relationship I should encourage.
Looks and smells like a penis. Wow.
There's a 3-way in the future.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, why do you think they brought Clayton? He was supposed to be the fuck boy.
Oh, God.
That is true. That's why they got the American.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Jane. I don't know what you got going on here, but I was promised something.
All right, Tarzan and Clayton have the talk, and then Clayton slams his hat in his leg and grabs it, and it was the coolest thing in the whole show. Anyone else
Alright.
catch that?
I don't remember that at all. I'm sorry.
Andrew's making shit up again.
I didn't make that up. That's in there.
He slaps
Look it
his
up.
leg and he catches the hat. I don't remember that.
He takes his hat in his hand and he slams it onto his leg. It bounces back up and he grabs it. And it was the coolest thing in the entire show.
Yes, I remember that. That was pretty cool.
Somebody
That was cooler than any of the
someone
staging effects.
make a gif of that.
Yeah, send it.
Yeah, do the work, find the Tarzan bootleg, go frame by frame into this one moment, and make a GIF out of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of our fans are going to put the work in doing that.
Send it to me. I
Put
want to
the
see
work
it.
in.
Yes. Once you do it, maybe if you send it to Ethan, he'll retweet it, and then you'll get a lot of likes.
There you go.
You will.
Yes. On that note, how about we go into a mid-show interruption and then talk about some songs? Hey guys, sorry to interrupt in the middle of the show, but we've got a shill at you. Today's show is brought to you by the extremely kind donations by our donors over at Patreon. Patreon's a place where you can get a ton of paid stuff. You get a weekly podcast that's all on its own that no one else gets. You get the video episodes of this show so you can see our wonderful, wonderful faces and the OBS screen for Ethan. And so much other cool stuff that you're missing out on. Our monthly Patreon meetups, which I don't know when it's going to be this month. Maybe it's today. We'll see. But Andrew, why don't you tell us who's supporting us on Patreon?
All right, our current patrons are, and this list keeps getting longer. You guys are the best.
It's actually shorter than last time.
Don't tell them that.
It makes me a little sad.
Melissa Goldman, Terry Needleman, John Donna, Leighton Ackles, Danielle Renix, Jess the Stampede, Ewan Cassidy, Taskier, Monica Thoreau, Mina Maniri, Brent Black, Haley Murray, Daniel Stacy Coombe, Joseph Evans Green, Carrie Ahern, Mary Lou Choquette, John Vanals, Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, To Blam, Kyle Summers, Janae C, Scoot in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Felice A, Liz Lim, Allison Stoller, Nothing is certain except Beth and taxes. Thespian. Ren Collin, Wait in the Wings. Rafael Martinez Salas. Robert Benjamin, Jessica T, Michelle Young. Chai Teacup, Katie McDonough. Timothy Keys, Jeffrey Machado. Chris Marquette. Tamimu Robinson. Kiji Marie Anastasio. Leela. RJ Noriga, Sebastian Canino, Avon Regan, Lizzie Haynes, Charlie B, Patrick Deering, Courtney Schreiner, Joe. I like that one, just Joe. Avery Brinson, Marilyn Brown, Mel Cormack, La Femme Fictionale, Bjorn Hermans, Trenise Massey, August Gorman, Mac the Knife, Erica S, Zamai, is that right? Zamai, and Toriana Vestal.
They give us a little extra financial support that helps us keep the lights on here at Musicals with Cheese. If you'd like to join them in supporting us and get tons of fun perks such as Patreon-only commentaries, our episodes a day early, video episodes, and a ton of other free crap, come join them over at Patreon. All right. Are you ready to go back to the show? Wait, hold on. Currently for a Black Friday sale, buy our merch. It's literally very much on sale right now. It is actually very criminally on sale. I love it. Go buy some for your family.
Black Friday, it's great Christmas presents for the whole fam.
Yeah, you want them to wear cheesy merch. We just got a new design with this wonderful design with all three of us. So if you want all three of us on your body, buy that one.
Ooh, hornier than Tarzan over here.
Hell yeah. All right, let's talk about songs.
Put your faith in what you most believe in. Two worlds, one family. Trust your heart, let fate decide to guide these lives we see. Paradise untouched by man, in this world blessed with love. A simple life, they live in peace. Softly tread the sand below your feet now. Two worlds, one family. Trust your heart, let fate decide to guide these lives we see.
So the opening number of Two Worlds, it kind of works. I think the song kind of works a little bit.
I like it. It's good.
I liked it, but when as soon as it happened, you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, okay, we're just not going to be able to get up to Phil Collins's energy. Like, it's just not going to be the same. This is what we've got. This is where we are. You kind of got to set your expectations. You know what I mean?
Yes, I can see that. I love the orchestration though. I feel like the orchestration is better than it was in the movie, to be honest.
I liked it. I think I prefer Phil Collins's version. That might just be because I'm more familiar with it. But yeah, for what it was, I thought it was very good. And I also thought it was a really great, just musically speaking, I thought it was a great number. Yeah,
I don't know if it works as an opening number.
It works as well as it does in the movie.
I mean, the movie kind of frames it as a song, where this is an opening that needs to set up the rules and all that, and it doesn't really do that.
Yeah, that's the thing is just as a song on its own, I thought it was really good, but it doesn't establish any characters. It doesn't introduce us to anybody. It doesn't really give us the setting. It tells us the parents, which is cool. I thought that the tent thing that they rigged up and lifted off the ground, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, in terms of hitting the ground running, it's very much just it happens. Then you're like, okay, and story, you know?
No, I agree, but wouldn't it have just, I don't need to see Tarzan's parents die. Wouldn't that have worked a little better in this specific thing if it was a twist where we just kind of start with him already introduced into the Gorilla Clan, and Two Worlds is kind of just him talking about how he feels?
The one...
Sorry, go ahead. That's like a Spider-Man movie without showing Uncle Ben dying. You have to.
You don't, though.
the one thing I really, really liked about the number was the music box, and how the music box makes Two Worlds kind of diegetic, or it's an actual song in the world of Tarzan that he can hear, and how that comes back later. I thought that was really cool.
I think, yeah, I like that element, and maybe we just start with that, start with the music box and the baby, and then we just smash cut to gorilla life, and then it becomes would you will believe in two worlds? I'm a gorilla man.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest problem with Two Worlds is that they didn't bring it back at the end.
Yes. I think they sing Strangers Like Me at the end.
Yeah, it's like fragments of tunes.
Yeah, they don't like do. I feel like Two Worlds should be at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I mean, that's kind of the overarching theme: the two worlds, the one family.
I'm pretty sure they sing it at the end of the movie too.
Yeah,
like I'm imagining him and Jane going through the vines, and they're singing.
It's
that.
the closing shot, like right before he turns, looks at the camera, and then you see Tarzan, you see the title.
Man, that's where Nolan got it.
They didn't understand the movie.
There you go.
But did Tarzan wobble or fall?
Look, they watched the movie and what they got out of it is like, damn, this Tarzan and Jane thing is kind of hot.
Man. I mean, Tarzan does. I mean, seeing Tarzan on stage as a person, he does look like he smells really bad.
It's so weird. It's so weird to like. It's a suspension of disbelief. It's the level of reality you're looking at on stage, and it's just like, that's just a kid in undies. Like, I'm just looking at a child in their underwear performing. It's like, I'm not okay with this. I'm very uncomfortable. Don't like it.
I know there's a lot of issues with this story, starting with like the colonialism is good side of it and all that. But I didn't get this from the animated film, but I got a lot from the stage show. There is an inherent power imbalance in intelligent and consent levels between Jane and Tarzan, where Tarzan has like the mental capabilities of, let's be kind and say a 12-year-old. And Jane is a full-grown woman with education and all that. It feels grooming.
Professor.
Well, no. See, like that's like a problem I have with the show. Like, I see what you're saying, but my take on the show is that like Tarzan is on the same, like, I don't know how to word this. Like, Tarzan and Jane are on the same like intellectual capacity, but it's the communication barrier that keeps them apart. Like, it's literally the language that stops them from communicating, and that's something that I really would have wanted to see in like a whole first act of Tarzan singing a bunch of songs about how he feels and what he's doing. And like demonstrating that he's capable of like all this complex understanding of what's going on, how he feels, the isolation, working with the gorillas and stuff like that. Because then once he gets to Jane, it's like the problem is the language. But instead, I see what you're saying, where it comes off as like Tarzan just doesn't understand what's happening.
Yes, he doesn't understand when he's being played. He doesn't understand the emotional complexities of what Clayton's bringing.
He comes off really
like
naive.
Clayton just like tricks him like super easily just by saying that Jane's gonna leave.
Yeah.
Like, which is like, okay.
Because like what's there's like a whole scene where he's just like Tarzan show Jane gorillas, now or Jane stay.
Yeah,
that was like and like I'm pretty sure in the movie, doesn't Tarzan kind of like actually learn English for the most part?
Yeah, for the most, they can really like, exactly.
So I don't know, it's not really in the movie where it is as much as it is here.
Ethan, I don't know if I've asked you this on previous episodes, but have you looked into the Hunchback musical at all?
I have. I've looked at it a lot.
I think the way they show Quasimodo's, like, he has vocal and defects along with his like physical ones, and he's deaf and all that. But he starts off very monosyllabic, but when he starts singing, he's able to articulate better.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
we need that. We need that so much in the show.
Like, and I feel like that's like really the genuine strength of musical theater, is that you can turn reality off, have somebody sing, you get all this just like front loaded emotional content. And it's like, great, I can really connect to this person, right? And then you go back to reality and you're like, okay, let's continue on with the story. Like, that's like, it feels like this should have been a home run in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yes. There is one scene that works, and let's talk about that. The You'll Be in My Heart scene, I think, really works.
It's wonderful. I absolutely love it. I nothing bad to say about it, honestly.
One bad thing, there's a whole show that follows it.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know what? You make some good points, Andrew.
Come, stop your crying. It'll be all right. Just take my hand. Hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here. Don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart.
this scene, I think that the mom is very good, like very good performance.
She's the best character.
She's absolutely fantastic.
And then she also disappears after Jane shows up.
Yeah. And that's not to say Jane's bad. I think Jane is very good. Like, the actress is doing a lot with that character as much as she can.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's... I missed what's her name? Kala.
Yeah.
Yeah, this song works, and I love it when it's reprised later in Act 2, and that emotional payoff really works in the same way that scene doesn't work for me in the movie, really, because it feels like it should be a song there, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't connect with that scene. But here I was like, oh, a new emotion I didn't have from the movie, and this is the one time it happened, literally the one time it happened.
This moment, and when it comes back at the end when Tarzan's about to leave, that's like the single golden thread in the show. Like, everything else, I was just like, it was just missing me, but this was like this like hit me like really hard. I thought it was really fantastic.
I agree completely. Andrew, any other words?
I just think it's interesting that you think the only new emotion that this added was in a song that was already in the movie when they added new songs. Can we talk about the new songs?
Well, yes, we can. Let's talk about I Need to Know by Young Tarzan, not to be confused with the first lyrics of Strangers Like Me, which is I Wanna Know.
Well, hang on. Do you want to talk about Jungle Funk first?
Remember this song.
Jungle Funk?
You don't want to talk about the Jungle Funk, the whole ensemble number where they're doing all the capoeira moves?
I forgot that song even existed. Let's talk about it.
I remember Who Better Than Me.
No. Jungle Funk, it's like everybody. So for the couple things, right? First off, I really like this is weird and it's more of a practical effect. I really like the costumes for the gorillas, right? Because ever since I saw Shrek the Musical, every time I see somebody in a fursuit, I just can't help but think about how much they must be dying. So seeing everybody in, like, I don't know if I want to go so far as to call it a furkini, but a modular costume design, it's like, okay, more flexibility, more breathability, people aren't dripping in sweat. But
practical fur effects.
Practical fur costumes. I liked it.
Practical fur technology.
Practical fur technology.
Digital
fur technology, exactly. But no, this was the moment in the show where I realized that this musical has a butthole clench factor. Because this was when everybody's swinging around, and in my head, I'm just like, fuck, they're going to slam into each other. They're just going to, like, completely clobber each other. We're going to watch somebody unconscious, swinging back and forth gently.
Spider-Man time. Turn off the dark,
There's
baby.
one part where Kid Tarzan is at the very front of the stage, and he's flanked by like 3 people, and they're doing these like capoeira kicks, and like the number of times they almost just clock this kid in the face just had me like curled up in the fetal position. I was just like, oh my god, I'm watching this kid just go into the audience. He's gonna get slammed. So yeah, this whole thing is like very acrobatic. Wasn't expecting Cirque du Soleil, but that was when I was like, okay, for the rest of this show, I'm going to be sitting here freaking out that someone's going to get hurt.
Don't watch Starlight Express, because that's how I felt during that.
Yeah.
Oh god, when they're going on that little bridge.
Well, they're like
roller
50 feet in the air on their stage, and like by seconds that bridge comes down, and if they aren't, they're just going to fall. It's terrifying.
Oh, and it's not even worth watching either. It's like, oh, Lord.
This had more emotional value than Starlight Express.
So, I mean, they gave Turk a song, and they gave Kershank a song.
Kershank?
Kerchak? How do you pronounce this?
Kerchak.
Kerchink?
Let's talk about Kerchink's song, please.
Kerchink. I don't even know. What is the thing the guy in Cars says? He says Kachiga. He's Kachiga.
No, he says Kachow.
The villains. Yeah.
Yeah, the villain says Kachiga, right?
Yeah, no, it's Kachow. My brain just immediately went to skadoosh.
Skadoosh.
Too many microplastics in my brain.
Okay.
Does anyone remember any of the new songs? Like, we could basically squeeze them into this like moment where, like, No Other Way. Boring. We get Kerchak's. This doesn't paint anything. It doesn't paint regret. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't really color his past. It's just, I'm stern and things go my way.
Yeah, it was super weird.
No turning back. What's done is done. I have seen what they can do. He can't be saved by you, by me. It's too late.
No, I won't let you do this. How can you think?
No more fighting. I'll be obeyed. I'll stand my ground, don't dare defy me. I know his kind, I know the truth. I will protect us.
these are the ones that I revisited where I'm like, it feels like I'm missing something. Like they're just not like, this is supposed to be the avenue where we're learning stuff. And I didn't feel like I was learning anything. Like the Turk song with Who Better Than Me, it's like, okay, so there's like a mentor relationship between Turk and Tarzan now. It kind of, and we learned about pendulation, which is sort of strange. And then Kerchak gets his own number. And I thought it was really strange because we have like Turk gets his number, Kerchak gets his number, Kala has a number. Tarzan's the only person who hasn't sung yet. Why didn't we lead with Tarzan?
I think they're just trying to get over the hurdle of having young Tarzan for a good chunk of the first act.
Fair, yeah.
Tarzan doesn't get a song till Act 2.
Yeah, Tarzan doesn't really have a need. Things just kind of happen at him throughout most of Act 1.
I need to know. I don't remember this song. I actually don't. I forget how this one goes.
Because he gets excommunicated by Kerchak.
Yeah.
It's like him and Kala, right? They both have to leave.
Yeah.
And then he just, like, they're doing this thing where, like, young Tarzan is having to, like, intuit, just, like, through psychic powers that there are other people like him that aren't gorillas,
Yeah.
And it's really strange. At least that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, I know. I feel that. It's just not a very well told story and not engaging at all because our character has no needs.
Son of Man was pretty fun because they just dance. It's just a dance song. There's nothing else to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the power to be strong and the wisdom to be wise. All these things will come to you in time. On this journey that you're making, there'll be answers that you'll see. At this you will climb the mountain, you will reach the peak. Son of man, look to the sky, lift your spirits and speak. Someday you'll walk tall with pride. Son of man, it's time you'll be.
I mean, it's better than what they did in the movie, which was montage. Lots of montage.
Hang on, this is the number, right? Yeah. I wrote this down. I have one super nitpicky,
Let's go.
crazy, massive issue that no one else cares about with this number.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So Son of Man in the movie, right, does something that's really cool. And I wish I brought it up earlier. So there's a Son of Man is a transition song where he goes from kid to adult, right? I almost said Kid Link to Adult Link, but he grows, right? And in the film, there's like the scene where he goes flying through he's with the elephants. He slides down Tantor's trunk. Tantor throws him in the air. He spins, and then they just like crossfade him into being a grown up, and then he splashes in the water, right?
We can't do that. Cut the elephants out. Can't do it.
Exactly. But when that happens, the song modulates. I'm like really sure the song modulates up a whole step. And it's like this really cool moment where it's like a gear shift modulation. It goes up and you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, it's like new Tarzan. And it really carries the momentum. It moves forward. That modulation still happens. I'm pretty sure it's a modulation. Still happens, but it's just Turk perched on the side of the stage, just singing through the whole thing and nothing. They just watch that moment just sail by. And I'm like, wow, this just sucked all the energy out of the number.
True. I also want to bring up that it's weird that Turk is singing the song because he doesn't know what a man is.
See, if Tantor was here, Tantor could get to Piranha Wikipedia, and he would know what man was. All right.
Nobody is supposed to know what a man is.
This is Tantor erasure.
Kerchak, right? Kerchak is the only one that knows about the men.
Kerchak knows about humans.
He's got Wikipedia.
Because he's got Wikipedia. He
also has Wikifeet because he's a weirdo, but we don't go into that in the story much.
Yeah, so Son of Man happens.
Basically, none of the new songs are any good, and the other songs are just like they don't even do it well.
No, so right after Son of Man, there's a love song between Kala and Kerchak
for no reason.
That was so
about how great he is.
Not needed at all.
I see why they did it. I see the logic to it because you want Kala to be able to sing something when Kerchak dies. I get the logic to it.
That does make sense, but it's like, okay, so like I have this written down. At this point, Kerchak sung more than Tarzan.
Yep.
I think by the end of the show, that's still the case. Tarzan barely has anything.
Tarzan
people
has,
sing about him, but
they sing at him, they sing to him, they sing about him, but like he doesn't. It's just, he's like an empty vessel. There's like nothing there. He's like...
I mean, these songs are written to be sung at Tarzan, not by Tarzan. That was the original intent in the movie.
I wish
Tarzan's not supposed to sing these.
Well,
I saw a YouTube video that told me the movie was a flop because of this.
but like
because Tarzan isn't supposed to sing.
But that's the frustrating part is like if you're gonna sit here and rework the numbers, you can literally play the pronoun game, right?
Yeah.
You know, you could instead of like son of man, have it be like in teaching you will learn, in learning you will teach. You could have him standing on stage singing son of man. In teaching I will learn, in learning I will teach. Have it be him and enthusiastic about living his life with the gorillas. You know, you could do that. You have that power, and they just didn't.
I think we should just cut Kid Tarzan out, to be honest.
Really?
You're trying to cut like half the show.
What would you replace it with? Because that's a lot to cut.
You start with baby Tarzan, and then we just go to adult Tarzan, and then we just change up still get the same beats, the banishment, and then have him be brought back in with the cheetah thing.
So have the beginning of Act 1 is basically like, it's like the establishing number is Kala finds baby Tarzan. Tarzan is immediately an adult. Like you have baby Tarzan, kid Tarzan at some point in the middle of the number, then adult Tarzan. Then it's like, you're an adult now, Tarzan. You have to go off and live by yourself. You can't live here. You're too dangerous.
Yeah, that's it.
And then all of Act 1 is him and Turk working together, kill the cat, get to come back to the jungle, or the gorilla encampment. They get to be a part of the gorilla family. Then Jane shows up and she fucks everything up. End of Act 1.
I mean, let's frame this as two mini stories. So we get Act 1, Tarzan introduced, kicked out of his place that he'd known as family for his entire life.
Then he's write this down.
I need to live with my stoner buddy Turk, and we're going to be lazy people, you know, kind of like the Hakuna Matata section of The Lion King. Mm-hmm. And then he hears his mother and father are in danger. They're about to be attacked, like the people that he was betrayed by. He needs to return and take care of them. And then his relationship with Kerchak is like all good. Like he's welcomed back into the clan and it's good. Mm-hmm. And he gets what he wanted in Act 1. And then the end of Act 1, we see the boat come in, Jane and her parents come in, and he finally sees, oh shit. And that's where our Act 1 cliffhanger is. Like that changes his entire world, because his want for Act 1 was, I want to be accepted by the gorillas. And then his want for Act 2 is, I want to figure out who these people are. Maybe that's where I'm supposed to belong. So it changed, like there's two complete arcs in Act 1 and Act 2 that could work.
What if there was like a permanent white people encampment, right? Like a science camp there that's
like
set up.
A colony of some sort?
Yeah, there you go. But no. But Kerchak's...
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Perfect. No, but like,
this is our Thanksgiving episode.
But Kerchak gets freaked out because he has experience with that group of people, so he leaves. That's where his trauma comes from. And then Jane and her dad are just the newest people off the boat, and so they go into the rainforest, not believing that it's dangerous. There's some other problem, and then her and Tarzan bump into each other.
Yeah. Once again, Tarzan sees the trouble and he saves her.
How has Tarzan never found this colony before?
Yeah, I mean, that would be my next question. I feel like it should be a colony that's getting set up here, where Tarzan's been like...
I think we're desperately trying to salvage a story that just doesn't work. And probably shouldn't be made.
It's... yeah, you can see.
I thought you were looking on the bright side, Andrew. I thought you loved this show based on your first statements.
I do. It's a horrifically awkward and... sexual, and just it's full of weird and awkward tension between the show and myself, not between any of the characters, but like, you know,
I missed you so fucking much.
I think that's what I liked about it, is just it's so bizarre and like, why did they do this? You know? And then there's small moments where there's like, damn, they made a waterfall out of a blanket. That's kind of neat, I guess.
What is it? It's like in Strangers Like Me, where they bring like the whole canopy down to sort of like represent them going to the top of the trees, and there's like a whole thing that they lower. I thought that looked like fucking awesome. I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah, and then they followed it up with like nothing, you know, just to bring back the green.
The green blob, as Ben Brantley called it.
The green blob.
I think that's what's so frustrating about this show, and like what makes it so awkward is that there's like really, really cool stuff that like punctuates a whole lot of nothing. So when nothing's happening, you're like, show, I can see what you can do. And if you had more time and money, I could see what you'd be capable of doing. But I'm watching a kid in a diaper walk around the stage. Like, you need to give me more.
I love that one of the only props they have is just like Turk's chair.
Yeah,
like,
right?
There's just like a thing hanging there, and every time Turk shows up, he's sitting in the chair, and it's like, what? Like, what? Why is this here? Okay.
You know what, guys? I got a question for y'all. What is our overall thoughts and our cheese rating? Ethan, I'm gonna let you go first. You know how this isn't your first rodeo. I think this is like your third or fourth.
I do, and I put thought into it. I put thought into it, and I know exactly what I'm going to give it. And it's going to sound weird, but trust me.
Let's go.
I'm rating this a hamburger when you ordered a cheeseburger.
Oh.
Because what you got didn't have cheese on it, and you wanted cheese.
Ooh.
That's the saddest cheese rating we've gotten in a long time. That actually made me real bummed. Damn. That's a good one, Ethan. I liked it. All right, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, this show is very weird, and honestly, I don't think it's worth seeking out. I would just watch the movie if you want to see Tarzan. And honestly, the movie isn't that great either, so probably just watch something else just entirely.
Watch Ethan's video on Tarzan.
Watch the movie.
Yeah.
The movie's good. I like the movie. It's just got
I don't
one
like
weird
the
thing
movie.
about it that I couldn't get over.
Yeah, I don't know. The movie's like fine. It's
He
honestly,
surfs on branches. I thought that shit was awesome back in 2001.
Yeah, I mean it
When this
is,
come out?
but like Treasure Planet came out, and like I'm over
Yeah.
it, you know.
Did you know that they use the same kind of technology, the same kind of 3D mapping?
That
They
makes
did,
sense.
but they did it better though, and like they don't even have any awkward like Phil Collins songs in that one. I'm gonna give it a Limburger because they say it smells like feet.
So we have a hamburger and Lingburger. There's a lot of burgers tonight.
Nice.
Bree, what do you think of our discussion? Your cheese rating of that?
It was good until Andrew took my cheese rating.
You gotta think of one, Bree.
I'll go with another stinky cheese, which is a stinking bishop, because Tarzan is stinky.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
He smells bad.
It smells bad.
I don't know. In Son of Man, he's swimming. Never mind. That's like river water. That's gonna make things worse.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's river water with elephants in it. It's gonna be way worse.
Yeah. I did not like this show. It is not the worst show. I don't even think it's the worst Disney musical. I liked it better than Aristocats Jr., I guess. Aristocats Jr. is shorter.
I want to see this with more time and money.
Aristocats Jr. is like a half an hour long.
I want to see this with more time and more money and a reworked Act 1. I want to see this get revisited. This is like an incomplete, you know?
Yes.
Like I can't give it an F. This is an incomplete.
This
I
will
give F's to
never
incompletes.
This will never be revisited.
I know.
It's just not going to happen.
But I can dream.
Is anyone nostalgic for Tarzan? It's almost like there could be a psychological reasons why no one really cares. I mean, I hear they remade it, but David Yates a few years ago, and nobody even cared that they remade it. There just might be an emotional detachment from Tarzan as a musical property, and I don't quite know what that might be. But my cheese rating is shredded cheese because of the meme I just sent you all in the chat.
Last
boy,
time,
let's
okay,
take a
no,
look.
I'm traumatized
Ooh,
by
that's a
clicking
good
on
one.
links because you once showed me some Muppets, and I'm not, I'm still not comfortable.
You're
This is
still-
good. This is
Just look up shredded cheese Tarzan, and you guys are welcome.
very
Oh my
nice.
god, this would be my desktop background. That's fucking awesome. Oh, I love that.
The Tars himself.
Oh my god. Tarzan branded
Ethan.
shredded cheese. There you go.
Ethan, thank you so much for joining us and for your patience. For those of you who don't know behind the scenes issues, Ethan rescheduled with us many times,
No
and
problem.
we are
Thank
very
you
grateful
for having me.
for
I
that.
love coming on the show.
Anytime you want to come back, I know we have plans for something that is allegedly coming to Disney Plus one day, and we're just gonna fast track it when it gets there.
Yeah, no, we've been in talks about this super special secret thing since what, February?
Yeah, it's been a while. Like it's been
they
like we've
promised
had
us.
2 episodes since our original plan.
They promised us. Okay, I still look it up. Just like, when is this thing happening?
Yeah, I goddamn Rona, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe Hamilton didn't make a shit zillion dollars the way they wanted it to.
No.
Who knows?
Hamilton just prints money. It's super popular.
Is it though? Is it? Are people still going out to see Hamilton
Is it
and paying
not?
$1,000 per seat? I don't
Oh
know.
no, is Boomer Ethan totally not on the level?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Hamilton's been canceled as far as I'm aware.
Oh really? I thought
Yeah, on Twitter.
I thought.
On Twitter?
Wait, what kind of cancel? Like they're not doing shows anymore, or the other kind of cancel?
No.
Like
Andy
the other
started the
kind.
other kind.
Oh, okay.
Because, it puts colonizers in a really, really positive spot, which, I don't want any Disney shows doing either.
Oh, okay.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving! This is literally our Thanksgiving episode. I think it goes up either on Thanksgiving or the day before. I think I'll post it it early because...
What are you all thankful for?
I am thankful for Ethan joining us. Thank you, Ethan, for joining us. I'm thankful for everyone in this call, and I love you all so much. Ethan, promote your wonderful stuff, but it's not like the people don't already know about it.
I make YouTube videos on youtube.com, and I have a Twitter, and I really like making nachos. I didn't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah, nachos are great. I love your content. Your cat's video is one of the best videos of all time. I'm very grateful for you.
A lot of stress went into that. Just so much stress. I look at the thumbnail and I twitch.
I'm so sorry. Both Bree and I are very thankful Andrew is back, and I feel like Ethan is, and so is the entire audience. I'm very, very happy. The show is not the show without you, and I feel like Ethan agrees.
Did you miss me?
We did.
Yeah, because you have pretty big shoes I gotta fill, because I don't know how to be funny or talk about musical theater, so...
They're smelly shoes, too, I'll tell you that.
I'm so happy you're back.
They've got room for calluses.
I mean, I did a lot of stuff while you were gone to try to fill the void. It is never the same. It is not the right vibe ever.
I'm sorry, guys. I was in the jungle sliding down trees on my feet. So
they're calloused like shoes.
Calloused and splintered feet.
The good news is I don't have to wear shoes anymore.
You know who also doesn't have to wear shoes either, Andrew?
Who's that?
Our wonderful patrons. Thank you guys for listening. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher at Musicals with Cheese. We're on Twitter at Cheesy Musicals, Patreon Musicals with Cheese, Instagram Musicals with Cheese, YouTube page Musicals with Cheese. We have a Patreon-only podcast called Patreon with Cheese, where me and Liz Eston talk about TV shows. Email us at musicaltheaterlives@gmail.com. Our title card was created by the amazing Jolene Casco. Go send her some love at Jolene Casco. Our keeper of the cheese is Juliet Antonio. Thank you so much, Juliet. And we have something special coming up with Juliet in December, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that. This show is produced and edited, and basically it keeps afloat by the wonderful, the incredible, my favorite person in the world aside from Andrew and Ethan, Brianna Jones!
Yay!
I love you so much, Brianna. Thank you for keeping the show going. Our themes were created by the amazing Robin Nash of IOU Music UK. Thank you, Robin, for writing all those music themes for us. Thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network for having us on the platform and for not kicking us off for talking about how smelly and fetishy the Tarzan musical is.
Some of the people listening are into that, so don't apologize.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. You can be into whatever you want. This is the internet. Go for it.
Jerk off to Tarzan. I don't care. Just don't do it while you're at the theater. Don't want to get a Pee Wee Herman pulled on you. All right, anything else we have left to say, guys?
What more is there to say, Jess?
Happy Thanksgiving! Don't get a Pee Wee Herman pulled on you.
Show this one to the family. Have your mom come listen.
There you go.
You know what? This is the perfect one right after Thanksgiving dinner to fly on, because it's like, oh, my cheesy boys are back, and then suddenly we're talking about feet fetishes and...
This will be family friendly.
Grandma, wake up. You have to listen to my podcast.
You gotta hear about how hung Tarzan looks.
It's got Ethan from Sideways. He's so smart. He always talks about, like, the best music theory stuff.
He never cusses.
He's the guy that makes the YouTube about the Tarzan.
I make the YouTube.
That told me that Tarzan was a flop because of the music, but I like it anyway.
I like it anyways. That video is so bad because...
Someone
honestly,
had an opinion different than mine.
The worst part about that one is when you said Tarzan was good.
On that note, we'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese.
Bye.
Son of man up to the sky.
Son of man, you're born to fly.
Is this water sanitary?
It's questionable to me.